What do you do when faith costs everything, when the world demands you compromise, but God calls you to stand firm? This is the story of three men who faced an impossible choice. In ancient Babylon, King Nebuchadnezzar, in a display of his immense power, built a colossal golden statue. His decree was simple and absolute. When the music played, everyone, regardless of rank or origin, was to bow down and worship the image. The penalty for disobedience, to be thrown into a blazing, fiery furnace. But three young Hebrew men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, refused. They had been brought to Babylon as captives, but their hearts belonged to the one true God. Their loyalty was not for sale, not even under the threat of a horrific death. When confronted by the king, their response was filled with a courage that could only come from unshakable faith. They respectfully but firmly declared, "O Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up." The king was consumed by rage, his face contorted with fury. He commanded that the furnace be heated 7 times hotter than its usual temperature, so intense that the flames leapt out and consumed the very soldiers who were tasked with throwing the 3 men inside. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were bound tightly in their robes and hurled into the heart of the inferno. From the king's perspective, it was over. Justice, in his eyes, had been served. But then, something miraculous happened. Nebuchadnezzar leapt to his feet in utter astonishment, his eyes wide with disbelief. He turned to his advisors and asked, "Didn't we throw 3 men bound into the fire?" They confirmed, "Certainly, your majesty." He exclaimed, "Look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like a son of the gods." The fire, which should have turned them to ash in an instant, had no power over them. The ropes that bound them were burned away, but they themselves were completely untouched. The king, witnessing this impossible event, called them out. As Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego emerged from the furnace, the crowd gathered around in awe. Not a single hair on their heads was singed, their robes were not scorched, and there was not even the smell of fire on them. Overcome by this undeniable display of divine power, Nebuchadnezzar proclaimed, "Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and rescued his servants." They trusted in him and defied the king as command and were willing to give up their lives rather than serve or worship any god except their own God. In that moment, the king who had demanded worship for himself was now giving praise to the God of heaven. This powerful story from the book of Daniel carries a profound message for us today. God doesn't always promise to keep us out of the fire. Life will have its trials, its furnaces of affliction, pressure, and persecution. But he makes a far greater promise. He will be with us in the fire. Just as he stood with those 3 faithful men in the heart of the flames, he stands with you today in whatever challenge you are facing. The same God who turned a place of execution into a sanctuary of his presence is watching over you. Isaiah 43:2 tells us, "When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze." Their faith, a faith that stood firm in the face of the impossible, invited God's presence right into their crisis. It transformed their trial into a testimony. So, whatever your fire looks like right now, whether it's a difficult diagnosis, a financial struggle, a broken relationship, or a crisis of faith, I want to encourage you to trust him. He is already there with you, walking beside you, unbound and unharmed. He is your 4th man in the fire. Thank you so much for joining us at our Bible story and song corner. If this story has rekindled your faith and hope, please consider liking this video, sharing it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribing to our channel. We gather here every Sunday to be inspired and strengthened by God's unchanging word. Until next time, stand firm and trust that He is with you.